Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hi, my name is Mary and I give you guys an extra warm welcome. I would love it if you grabbed a snack, stayed for a while, and click the subscribe button. I would love to have you. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. I appreciate you more than you know. So you can tell by the title of the video, my Gemini II palette from Melt Cosmetics finally got here. Shipping was actually pretty quick, so that was so nice. I'm just now getting to filming with it. So we are going to create 3 eye looks, going to do some swatches, and we will talk about this palette and my thoughts. If that sounds like a video you would like to see, then just go ahead and keep on watching. All right guys, my hair is not cooperating. I don't feel I look well with my hair up, but it is what it is. Here we are. And also it's very windy outside, so if you hear noise, that's exactly what it is. Okay, so Melt Cosmetics announced that they were bringing back the Gemini palette. They did give her a new wardrobe, and so now she looks like this. I have the palette, I just forgot it downstairs. Beautiful if you ask me. And they were coming out with a Gemini II palette, which I did order. I went ahead and purchased the bundle because they were having a sale where you can get both palettes for $80. The original price is $100, but they do, I don't know if they still do, it might be over. They had a 20% off code. So I purchased the bundle of the Gemini and the Gemini II palette for $80. $80. Each palette will cost you $58, so I saved $18 per palette, which is amazing. I couldn't pass up on the offer. I've been wanting the Gemini palette. It's just been sold out, so this was my chance. Okay, and here she is. As you could tell, has the same type of cover with the roses. It's just the different tones. It's the tones of the Gemini II palette. Definitely rosy, definitely mauvey, and you do still have some greens here on the end. It looks very grungy. I mean, the lightest shade isn't even that light, and it looks like it's all mattes except for 2 shimmers right here. So definitely a grungy look, definitely a palette that will suit or attract certain individuals and not everybody. We are going to create 3 different eye looks today, and we will do swatches, and I will give you guys my thoughts. Why don't I go ahead and bring you on in closer and we can get started because we got 3 eye looks to get through. Okay, hair is pinned back. I am using the NARS Eye Base in light, and let's dig into this bad boy. I'm so excited. It does have a 12-month shelf life and it was made in the USA. I'm gonna try and do a very simple and as light as I can eye look. Let's see how it goes. So let's start with Bella. Yeah, Bella. I'm using a Sigma E40. And I'm pretty sure you can see this shade on my lid. So I'm basically going to use this as a transition shade, and you guys already know the drill. I'll do an eye look on this side, another one on this side, and the third and final eye look will be on both eyes. That way we can get more than one eye look done for you guys to see if you want to decide whether you want to pick this palette up or not. That is a beautiful rosy shade. I am going to bring it on the lower lash line all the way in. Okay, and now with a Refer number 15. Okay, and now I'm dipping into Sweetheart. I like it when palettes have the names right underneath the pan because then I can tell you the shades and their names. This is going to go in the outer corner. I'm going to see if I can deepen it up a tiny bit. Not too much, just a tiny bit darker than that first shade we set down. Another beautiful rosy shade. This one definitely looks like it's a tiny bit more cool tone than that first shade that has like a slight peachiness to it. I am going to bring it on the lower lash line, but only about halfway in. Okay, and now with this like fluffy flat brush from e.l.f., I'm going to jump into Ladylike. I'm going to put this shade on the remaining portion of the lid. It's kind of dark. Probably should have used that first shade on the lid, but it's fine, no big deal. Okay, this is what we got. It looks beautiful, very rosy for sure. Now I am going to jump into the darker side of this palette and go into Mateo, which is like the shimmer, but it looks like a soft shimmer. Not soft like the shade soft, like it's not full of sparkle like you're used to with the shades nowadays. I'm going to use my pinky and I'm very lightly, like not a lot, going to dip into it, and this is gonna go in the inner corner. I just want to see how that looks. Okay, not bad, not bad at all. I actually might add a tiny bit of my highlighter. I don't have any on yet, right in the center, so you could just brighten it up a tiny bit. But if you barely dip into it, it doesn't look too dark, and this shade is actually beautiful because it has some specks of gold, which is really nice. All right, and here is eye look number 1 done. I did go into my highlighter for the brow bone, and like I said, I put a tiny bit, like the tiniest of bit, right in the center of that green olive shimmer shade, Mateo. And I did go in to some Mardell wispy lashes. They're like seriously the most simple wispy lashes you could wear. I was trying to hide the band and I messed up, so then I had to add a liner on my lash or my top lid. It would have looked so much more simple, so much more open without the liner. Now for the waterline and to tightline, I did go in to the Wayne Goss. This is the Copper Flame one. I feel like it goes perfect with the tones that I used. But if you really want to open up this eye look, just use a nude liner on the waterline and to tightline, and that should do it. Okay, so let's move on to look number 2. All right, let's start this second eye look, and I'm going to jump in to Gemelas, which in English, that means twins. I'm a Gemini and I have twins. I thought that was cute. Okay, this is a rougher 01. I'm going to do a halo. Do I want to do a halo eye? Yeah, let's do a halo eye. Okay, so I'm going to start here in the inner corner, and I barely dipped into it because I want to start off soft and build up. If some of you are wondering why there is like rosy tones and greens, because I know sometimes it's hard to picture them together, but green and red are opposites in the color wheel, so these colors do complement each other very, very well. I'm also going to bring it in all the way. Okay, that is what that shade looks like. Now we're going to deepen up the inner corner and the outer corner a tiny bit, and I'm using a Morphe 506. I'm going to let's jump into this shade because it looks like a very beautiful deep red, almost like a blood red. I'm going to put this right in the middle and just deepen it up a tiny bit. This is probably going to be a very, very grungy eye look. The outer corner. And I'm only going to bring it into the lower outer corner about halfway in. All right, don't worry, I'm going to blend out the edges. Now, I'm going to jump in to Schmood right here, and I'm going to lightly top it off with Mateo. the other shimmer shade. But I'm lightly going to tap into that first shimmer shade, which almost feels more like a satin type of shimmer, like a metallic. And that's gonna go right in here. And I'm going to try and blend what I did grab with my finger out as much as I can. Because I don't want that shade too emollient. Okay, that's what that looks like for now. Don't worry, it's going to come together, I promise. Okay, now Mateo, and I'm lightly going to dip into it. I think I'm going to use my index finger. I feel like it's smaller and more pointy. Like literally a tiny bit. And I'm just going to tap that right on top of that other shade. Do you see how it's transforming it? Okay, now with this fluffy M441, I'm going to dip into the lightest shade in the palette, which is Bella. I'm going to kind of just clean all the edges off. I think the third eye look will focus mostly on the green mattes and see how we can incorporate some of the pinks into that. Okay, here is the final eye look. I did go into Bella, the lightest shade in the palette, and used that for my inner corner, and I think it just made it look absolutely beautiful. I did put on the highlighter for the brow bone, but I decided not to add it to the eye look this time. I just like how it looks as it is. It looks so pretty. It's super grungy. It's gorgeous. Now, if you really want to open up the eyes, you can just use a nude liner and that should help it out. I didn't feel it needed an eyeliner at all. It's doing everything all on its own, this eye look. And if you look really close, you can really see like that green shimmer Mateo popping out, and then Schmood also popping through like that copper shade. Beautiful. Beautiful. I miss when shimmers were a tiny bit more simple like this. Not all the time, because I do enjoy the glittery shades, but yeah, I do miss shimmers just being simple. Okay, for the eyeliner for the waterline and to tightline, I used this Urban Decay in Love Drug. It's like a beautiful purple. And for the lashes, I have the Bright Lashes is one of the half style lashes in Flare. And for the lips, I have one of Melt Cosmetics lip liners in Cinnamon, and I went in with my Dior. This is like that forget what it's called, but 640 J'adore is the shade. It's like the new lip gloss that she has. I can't remember, but yeah, for now, this is eye look number 2. It's my absolute favorite. It is so pretty. I will see you for eye look number 3. Okay, let's start with this third and final eye look. I'm going to jump into this shade right here, which is Ladylike. This is a Rephr number 27, so it's a nice fluffy brush. And I picked that shade because I feel like out of the lightest shades is the one that has the least amount of like rosy tones in them. It's more of like a peach. And I'm going to use this as my transition shade, but only in the outer corner. It's such a beautiful color, honestly. I'm going to bring it on the lower lash line all the way. And I am going to wing it out. That's what that beautiful shade looks like. Now I'm going to jump into the green side of the palette. I'm going to start with this one, Almond Eyes. This is a Sigma E40. And I'm lightly dipping into it first because I want to make sure that it's not too pigmented. So I'm going to focus this on the crease and the outer corner. I am going to wing it out. I'm also going to bring it on the lower lash line, but only about halfway, not all the way in. And wing it out. Okay, now I am going to jump in to Boy Mom, or Boy Mum, right here. This is a M506. I love this, by the way. It's the Sigma switch. And I'm going to pretty much just deepen up this outer corner. And I'm also going to bring it down on the lower lash line, but I'm going to keep it right on the outer corner. This one's definitely, sorry guys, that's my phone, a lot darker. I didn't think it was going to look this olive greeny. I thought it was going to look pretty much brown, but no, you could tell there's an olive green tone to it. Ooh, this eye look is coming out smoky. Okay, now I'm going to jump into Schmood, and then I'm going to jump into Mateo first. This one, and I'm going to put the darker one, at least I feel like it's the darker one, in the outer corner closest to those greens. And as you can tell, I lightly dipped into them because I feel like this is this shade that can go dark very fast. And I also feel like this shimmer shade, Schmood, is a shade that you can probably put in your crease and it would be totally okay, and it would probably blend very nice. Okay, that's what we've got going on. Don't worry, I'm going to go back and blend in all that good stuff. Now with my index finger, Mateo, and very lightly dip it into it. I want to build up. I don't like going in with too much pigment right off the back. And I am dragging it a tiny bit just so I can make sure that I can blend it out. My kids are being very loud. I think it's nap time. And for the corner, I am tapping it because I don't want to take it in too far. Okay, so now what with the small brush, I'm just going to blend out the outer corner. And with that Sigma E40, which I used the olive green with, I'm going to blend out the top. And then one last time with the rougher brush, I am going to very lightly dip into Ladylike. And I'm going to just add that right. I know you're probably thinking this is looking so dark, but don't worry, we're gonna fix that. Because now we're going to jump into the lightest shade in the palette, which is Bella. And that small pointy brush that I used for, I think it was eye look number 2. And I'm going to dip into this shade and I'm going to put it in the outer corner. And that's going to be our inner corner shade. It's not super bright, but it's going to kind of balance out the darkness in the eye look a tiny bit. And I'm going to bring it down to the inner corner too. All right guys, here is the third and final eye look. My hair is not cooperating. It's the day after hair wash night. Okay, so I finished off the eye look with the Wayne Goss Kohl liner in Copper Flame, and I did get a notification that he has a new announcement about a powder and foundation. I need to go watch his video. For the lashes, I have on the Bright Lashes in the style Gemini. Now, the main reason I purchased these lashes is because the style is called Gemini. If I'm being 100% honest, these are a tiny bit too dramatic for my taste. If you are a Gemini and you love lashes like these, power to you, girl. But yeah, these are just a tiny bit too dramatic and bold for me. I feel like they drag my eyes down. Yeah, I don't know. But this is what we got. this is what we're doing. And I did go in to my Melt Cosmetics, the Perfectionist lip liner and cashmere. And I did use that Dior, I think it's called the Addict Lip Balm or something like that, in a 640 J'adore. All right, so let me scroll on out because it's time for some swatches. All right, so here are swatches for the Gemini 2 palette. I even took off my watch, so this is where my Fitbit goes and why it's so light. Some of the darker shades definitely felt very dry. For example, that like super dark olive green shade. To me, it looks like a dark, cool tone olive brown. LX Queen, which is that dark burgundy shade, which I did not get a chance to dip into. That like blood red almost shade for sure. And these all felt actually pretty creamy upon touching, but swatches don't really tell the story because I felt like every single shade that I used blended out beautifully. Now, as you could tell, the shimmers are very subtle. This is more of like a metallic satin shade, and this is definitely like your more traditional shimmer. As you could tell, the punch on them is not bam in your face like say Pat McGrath or the new Patrick Ta. They're more subtle, and I think that was purposeful because this is a very grungy palette. And if you want to keep it grungy, you kind of have to keep the shimmer shadows just at a minimum. At least that's what I personally feel is what they did. I do love the outer packaging. I feel like Melt Cosmetics always knocks it out of the park when it comes to the packaging. Gemini 2, the new packaging of the Gemini, which is also a beautiful palette. And I believe you already saw that video where I test out all the new stuff from my Sephora VIB So haul, at least some of the products. The brunette palette, this is more simple, but it definitely goes with the palette. I also really enjoy this, and the shimmers in here are definitely more like that chunky pow kind of shimmer formula. And then the other one that I own is the Mariposas collection, and the shimmers in here are definitely a lot more punchy. I think there's only one or two of like that satin or metallic satin type of shade, but I do feel like there was a purpose with this palette. They wanted it to be grungy, and that's exactly what they did. So it's definitely not going to be for everybody. Okay, so what are my final thoughts on this new Gemini 2 eyeshadow palette? I think formula-wise, Melt Cosmetics did a very good job. The mattes in here are absolutely stunning. They laid on top of each other fabulously. They blended out with ease. Every shade I used, I was very impressed with the quality of the shade. But I do feel like this color story is only going to call to certain people. So if these are not your kinds of tones, I don't know how much you will enjoy it, because almost every single eye look you create with this palette is going to be dark and grungy, unless you stick to like the rosy tones like right there and do an all matte look and maybe go into another palette and pull out a shimmer like maybe the brunette. You can do that, and it's okay. People do that. People sometimes use two palettes to create an eye look. If you're a hardcore Melt Cosmetics fan and you're just collecting palettes, you will not be disappointed because the quality is there. I will definitely be enjoying this palette a tiny bit more. I forgot how much I like grungy eye looks, and this Gemini 2 and the Gemini, I have to play with this one a tiny bit more. I think I've only created one eye look, and it's so pretty. Look at that. Ugh. But yeah, I definitely forgot how much I enjoy grungy eye looks. This eye look I created is beautiful. Out of the three, it's in between eye look number 2 and this one that I enjoyed the most. Why don't you guys let me know down below which one is your favorite? But that is it. That is going to conclude this review of the new Gemini 2 eyeshadow palette by Melt Cosmetics. I hope you enjoyed the 3 eye looks because I certainly had fun creating them. All right, guys. Well, with that being said, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate every single one of you. You guys have no idea. Well, with that being said, I would love it if you gave this video a big ol' thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it, and you would definitely help me out in the algorithm. of hopefully bringing some new and fresh eyes to my channel. And if you haven't done so already, I would love it if you joined my small YouTube family by clicking the subscribe button. I would love to have you. All right, guys, I will see you on the next video. Bye.